You're a lifelong West Ham fan. You went to the old ground countless times.
Yep.
What were your emotions on that final day against Man United like?
Fantastic. It was like going back to the 70s. They smashed the coach up. We won 3-2. And then I had all the family there.
Yeah.
And I bloodied my grandson. My grandson was only a few months old at the time. And he came along that night. And he's been West Ham ever since. So what a way to end.
It's not the worst first game to go to either when it goes time to it.
No, absolutely. And for me, it was just one fantastic night.
You played in obviously some grounds with huge atmosphere, talking about Leeds, places like that. How did Upton Park compare to that now you look back at it?
I think it's definitely up there. You really get a sense of the crowd being on top of you, like everyone always said. But I didn't realise, just how good the atmosphere was until I went there and then, was involved in my first game. So, it was great for the club, and I think we're slowly starting to take that over to the new stadium as well.
How did it feel when you walked out of the stadium the first time, 60,000 people, bubbles blaring? How did that actually feel?
Goosebumps, I think, is the best way to describe it. I think it was the Juventus game, the first one I was involved in, and it was it's something I'll never forget.
You were a player who both played at Upton Park as the opposition, as well as now you're playing at the Olympic Stadium. Do you think that now we've moved away, that the opposition teams are going to be slightly happier that the fans aren't as close and that it's not that same sort of vibe?
To be honest with you, as good as the old stadium was, the atmosphere in the Olympic Stadium in the last couple of games has been fantastic, and I couldn't be happier with the way that I felt the fans. So for me, it's a step in the right direction. We have a bigger stadium, more fans in the stadium, and it's all in the process of we becoming a bigger club. So we need to accept it. It's our reality now. It was nice, the old ground, but this one is fantastic as well. So we move on.
How did you feel moving into the new stadium? Were you treacherous?
Well, I was away for a while when I first moved in, so I've been to one game at the new stadium.
Okay.
And I can understand people going on about, the atmosphere there, but the team weren't playing that great.
Yeah.
And, you've got to have a team, the team's got to make it its own. And that takes the fans and that takes the football as well. But now the football's starting to get better. And let's see. You see what happens from now to the end of the season and the start of next season, I've got big hopes for this team. I think they've got a lot of heart, this team there,
You spent a while at Upton Park. You went through some huge things there, FA Cup semi-final, some massive games.
Yeah.
What was that atmosphere like on the best of days?
It's just, people ask you questions, when everyone says you can't describe it unless you're in it, it's literally like you can't describe it unless you're in it. Going on that pitch and hear everyone roaring on the lads, because obviously being a West Ham fan, they're really passionate about football and they're really passionate about West Ham, and it shows on the pitch and you can feel it. So the passion that the time I was there was amazing. The lads just felt it, and we just took on everyone that come to that place.
You've been to the new ground. I've seen you there. You've watched games there. How does it compare for you when you sit in the stands now as opposed to banging goals on the pitch? But how do you think it compares? How do you think the players will feel when they are on that pitch at the Olympic Stadium?
It's a different stadium, different atmosphere. Obviously, the Olympic Stadium's amazing. It's a bigger open space, and it's not as enclosed as the West Ham fans now. So they will find it difficult. But I think once this season's over and done with and they've found their feet, next season will be really good.
How does it feel when you're out on that pitch and everyone's just losing their minds? Compared to Upton Park to the Olympic Stadium, for example, where fans are slightly further away, for example, does it change, or do you still feel that same swell of the crowd?
I think you only really notice it when there's a break in play. It doesn't matter where you're playing. I think when you're you're concentrated and you're really focused, everything kind of sort of blocks out. But when the ball's out of play, you really do feel that there's an extra 20,000 fans in the new stadium. But I think both of them is probably up there with the best atmospheres I've played in.
Given the way we started, what do you think is a realistic finish for us? What are we aiming for?
I don't like to make assumptions, but I think we've really turned a corner these last couple of months, and I think as a squad and as a team, we've really grown, and there's no reason why we can't keep climbing up the table and keep picking points up.
When you say heart, what do you want out of your West Ham player when you think about it?
Just to run.
Just to run.
Keep running.
Like Noble, basically.
Keep trying, run and tear and mean it, and put 110% in every time you go out on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think this team does that now,
In the film specifically, obviously it's a little bit of a retrospective, looking back at those old times.
Yeah.
Do you miss the old place at all, or is it?
Not at the moment.
Or is it just an
not
onwards and
a lot.
upwards
To be
thing?
fair, I don't at the moment. I've been away. Maybe in a couple of years' time I will, because it gave me a reason to go back there. A lot of the people I grew up with have moved out. And so there's no reason for me to go there. The only reason I had to go there was to go and watch a West Ham game. So maybe in a couple of years' time, I might have a different answer for you.
Finally, where do you think we're going to finish this season?
8th.
8th.
Yeah, I think 8th, 9th, somewhere around there.
I'll let you go and get a beer. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't see us getting any further up.